Hi guys, welcome to Workout with Di. This is the No BS Bootcamp interval workout number 3. So we've got some exercises for you today. We're going to start off with leapfrog. So it's going to be our cardio. You're going to set those feet shoulder width apart, jump forward, and then jump back. Nice soft landing. So you've got a little tiny bit of a squat, jumping forward and jumping back. Now, as you can see here, I'm doing 2 jumps forward and 2 jumps back, but if you have room, maybe you're doing 3 or 4, as long as you do the same number back as you do forward. Alright, shake out the legs. Then we're going to come into a single leg deadlift. So we're going to start off with the right leg. So the right foot's going to be down on the floor, left foot's lifted, and you're going to bring the arms down towards the floor. So you're going to hinge at the hips. Maybe you reach the floor, maybe you don't. And then you kind of come back all the way back up. So just finding that single leg deadlift. You can see here my knee is bent on that supporting leg. Trying to keep the back nice and long, trying not to round through the spine. So just finding yourself tipping forward and then standing all the way back up again. All right, shake the legs out. I'm going to come into the other side, so the left leg. So the left foot's going to be down on the floor, small bend in that knee. Right foot's going to lift up, and then you're going to reach the arms down towards the floor and stand all the way back up. So these single leg exercises are great to see the differences in your right and your left side. So maybe you're stronger in one leg than another. Maybe your balance is better on one side than another. And this is a great move for working the butt and the hamstrings. Alright, shake the legs out. We're going to come down onto all fours. So we're going to do a scapular retraction. I know, weird name, but bear with it. You're on all fours, arms locked out. So not completely locked out, there's a small bend, but they don't bend when the chest comes down towards the floor. As you can see, it's a small move through the upper back between the shoulders. Shoulder blades go towards each other and then separate apart. So it's a small move, but you're working all those muscles in that upper back between the shoulder blades that help improve your posture. So if you spend a lot of time at your computer or driving, this will be a great exercise for you to do to really work on your posture. And it'll help you get a little bit taller, hopefully. Open out through the chest. Okay, so we're going to come over onto your butt for a V-sit. So sitting on your butt, knees bent and feet on the floor. So you're going to start off, maybe you're going to hold the knees, lean the chest back so that the chest is behind the hips, and then lift your feet away from the floor. Now the arms can be extended here as you see me doing right now, or you can hold on to the thighs. That's going to be a little bit easier. So for that harder version, you're going to release the hands away from the thighs and just reach the arms forward. Now if you wanted an even easier version, maybe the feet stay down on the floor. If you wanted a harder version, you can extend the legs so that the legs are extended and lengthened away from you. And you're just going to hold. The belly is pulled in, and there's no arch in the spine. All right, so that is the first round of exercises, and we're going to just do that whole thing again. So starting off with that leapfrog, sit down and then jump forward and back. So try not to think so much about height as really trying to travel forward and back. So thinking about that distance that you're moving forward and back. Obviously that's going to depend on how much room you have. If you are limited on space, then definitely think more about height. So you're really trying to focus on having a nice soft landing. So you're bending the knees as you land to take any pressure out of the joint. Great, so shake out the legs. Let's come back to that single leg deadlift. So the booty is going to get a real workout today. So single leg, standing on the right leg, left leg up, and then just tip it forward and stand it up. Now again, you can see me here and I'm touching the floor. This is one of my favorite exercises to do, but you don't have to touch the floor. So maybe if you have a cushion or a box in front of you, you can just reach down and touch the cushion or the box, just to give you a little like proprioception as to how far you're coming down and whether it's even on both sides. Don't panic if you wobble. That's the whole purpose of these single leg exercises, the balance exercises. You want to really strengthen all those little stability muscles. All right, so we're just going to switch sides and do the left leg. So again, left foot down on the floor, lift the right leg and just tip forward and stand up. So as you can see, I'm not going super fast here. You want to really try and control the movement. And if you need to tap that right foot down, that's okay. It's better than falling over. All right, shake the legs out, and we're going to come down onto all fours. So coming back down onto the floor, setting the hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, pulling the belly in, and then sinking the chest down, pulling the chest up. So if you do sit at a desk a lot, so maybe you drive to work, have a long commute, and then you sit at a desk all day, this might be a little challenging at first because you're just not used to using the muscles between the shoulder blades. But definitely stay with it. This is going to be a great exercise for anybody who sits at a desk for a long period of time. It's also great prep for any back or shoulder exercises that you're going to do in the gym, any weights or anything like that. Perfect for that. Then we're going to come round onto our butt for a V-sit. So again, chest lengthens out behind the hips, and then lift the feet away from the floor, extend through the arms. So those of you that know yoga will know that this is actually a yoga pose. Navasana, or your boat pose. Great for really kind of warming up and firing up the core. So just trying to hold. So this is half boat pose, and if you wanted that full version, you extend the legs so that the legs are straight, and then you have that V made with the body. Try not to hold your breath, keep breathing. And again, we're going to come round Back to the cardio and that leapfrog. So jumping forward and jumping back. Nice soft landing. If you think about your frogs leaping, they don't make a lot of noise. Thinking about a nice soft landing. Trying to keep the butt down so that you're sinking in to that jump so we can really help fire up the legs. All right, shake the legs out and then single leg deadlift. Right leg down, left leg lifted, and then the hands are going to reach forward towards the floor, hinging at the hips. So again, another functional exercise. I really like the exercises that have some function in everyday life. And deadlifts are great for working the butt. And if you're doing these in the gym, you can use a kettlebell or dumbbells or something to add a little bit more resistance, make it a little bit more challenging. And then you're just going to switch legs. Left foot is down, right foot is lifted. So really try not to hold your breath also. I mean, you don't want to hold your breath when you're doing any of these exercises. So make sure you keep breathing throughout the whole thing. Just remembering that each one is only 45 seconds, so just keep moving. Even if the range of motion ends up being smaller, just keep moving. Alright, so back onto the all fours for that scapular retraction. So you're going to come down onto your mat, hands under shoulders, and then let the chest drop, lift the shoulders away from each other. So really try not to overthink it. It's a small move, but it's so effective. You can see here that my neck is in line with my spine. I'm not jutting the chin forward or tossing the head back. All right, last V-sit. So going to come round onto the butt, holding onto the knees or the thighs. And we're just going to hold that sit. So the chest comes back away from the knees, and then lift the feet away from the floor and just hold that V-sit. So again, you notice there's no arch in the spine. So if anything, you want a little bit of rounding in the spine and the chin a little bit tucked in. So you have like a slight crunch as the shoulders and the hips are kind of a little bit closer towards each other. And it's very easy to hold your breath, so make sure to keep breathing when you're doing this. All right, so that is the first half of the workout. Maybe you're done and you just do the stretch. If not, let's go on to the second half and we're gonna do some quick heels. So you're just gonna be having those heels, like a heel dig in front, really moving quickly, like hopping on that change. Pushing the heels forward. Knees stay slightly soft when you're pushing that heel forward, so don't lock out the legs. So stay nice and light onto the feet, keeping it nice and low. So if you did want a low impact version, you're just gonna put the heel forward, step it back in, put the other heel forward and step it back in. So the little jump change that I'm doing here is going to be the more advanced version. Shake out the legs and we're going to come into a single leg calf raise. So you're going to have the right foot down on the floor, the left foot is going to be lifted away from the floor. And then you're just going to raise up onto the ball of the foot and then the heel comes back down. Now it is going to be a little bit of a challenge. It's really going to work through the back of the leg, working through the calf. So working on the stability muscles as well, on your balance. A little bit of core going on. So if you do find yourself almost falling over, definitely put your foot down and, get your balance first before you continue. And then shake the legs out. And we're going to do the other side. So the left foot is down and the right foot is up. So this is another one with these single leg exercises where you can really see a difference between the right and the left sides. For the left side for me, I'd have a little bit more balance issue and it was quite a lot harder to lift up. So my left calf is a fair bit weaker than my right calf. All right, shake the legs out. We're going to come down onto the floor to a pike push-up. So I want you to find the position of your top of your push-up position. And you're going to lift your butt in the air. So you're in an inverted V. Then the crown of the head just comes down towards the hands. So if you know yoga, this is your down dog position. And then you're just going to bring the head down by bending the elbows. And notice the neck is in line with the spine. Back is long, butt is lifted. Now the knees can be bent, a little bent, and the heels, if you notice, are lifted away from the floor. It's a challenging move for the shoulders, arms, whole upper body. All right, so you're going to come onto your back for windshield wipers. So on your back, arms out, knees are over the hips and the shins come up parallel to the floor. And we're going to take the knees over side to side. So halfway one and then halfway to the other. So trying to keep the shoulders down on the floor. The top half of the body is anchored down to the floor. And you're just rotating through the waist, knees dropping down and then lifting that hip away from the floor. So trying to keep control of the move. Okay, so let's start over. So when we're starting over, you're going to stand up and do those quick heels. Yep, starting over for round number 2 of this set. So again, you got those nice and quick little heels coming in front. So I mentioned before you have the option for the low impact version that you're just going to do one heel at a time. So you step the heel forward, step it back in, other heel forward, step it back in. You also have the option to do a more advanced version where you don't let the heels touch the floor. So you kind of do a little kind of kick in front. Just options, you know, that you could do. Don't feel that you're limited to do the exact version that I'm doing right here. All right, shake out the legs, and then we're going to come into that single leg calf raise. So right foot is down, left foot is lifted, and you're just going to lift the heel away and up, and then place it back down. Again, don't panic if you wobble. That's the whole point of some of these exercises. The single leg stuff is all about balance and control. Always makes me laugh when I start to wobble, and that makes things worse. Shake out the leg, and we're going to do the other side. So the left foot is going to be down, right leg is lifted. So if you needed to, maybe you're holding on to a wall for support. It's always an option. Have a chair, back of the sofa, something you can just touch and have nearby just in case you feel a little bit more secure with that wall or chair there. Always an option. Right, give the legs a shake. We're going to come down into that upside down V with the butt up, hands and feet apart in that downward facing dog. And then crown of the head comes down by bending the elbows. Back stays nice and long, belly is pulled in. So really focus on the elbows coming out. Keeping the back long and the butt lifted. And again, try not to hold your breath. All right. Coming down onto your back for windshield wipers. Arms out, knees over the hips, shins parallel to the floor. Keeping the shoulders down, taking the knees from side to side. So again with this one, just check in with yourself. Do you have a bigger range of motion on one side compared to the other? Does one side feel different to another? So really trying to work those obliques. Okay, 5 minutes left, so quick heels. So just 5 minutes left, let's go. Finish the workout. Heels coming in front, nice and light on the feet. Try to move as quickly as you can. And then shaking the legs out. Coming into our calf raise, right leg. Left leg is lifted. Lifting up and releasing down. Again, if you need that wall for support, then go for it. Shake the legs out, and then we're going to come into the other side. Left foot down, right leg lifted. All right, so coming onto your mat for your pike push-up, butt up, and then bending the elbows, lowering the head down towards the floor. Try not to hold the breath. And then we have our final exercise, which is the windshield wipers. So coming onto your back, knees up, feet up, arms out, and then just swoosh the legs from side to side. Again, trying not to hold the breath. And that is it. Go stretch, and I will see you next time. Bye!